on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
There are two major reasons why I was curious of seeing How to Train Your Dragon. First is the director Chris Sanders. He's known for the Disney film Lilo and Stitch, which I thought was a surprisingly good film. I was aware of his history, being the designer for the Disney characters and films I grew up with, as well as his production of American Dog, which later became Bolt. So, as you may have guessed it, I was really looking forward to this project at DreamWorks. The second reason is dragons. There was really no good film involving dragons throughout many years, except Dragonheart, which was only decent at that time. I've always loved dragons. They can fly, breathe fire, intimidate, and they also look very badass. On top of that, I was born in 1988, which, according to the Chinese zodiac, was the year of the dragon. So what's not to like about him? Dragons are one of the most inventive fantasy creatures ever made. So with some anticipation here, I gave How to Train Your Dragon the chance. And I personally have mixed feelings about it, as I explain the following. An outcast Viking boy named Hiccup dreams of being a hunter for dragons, which in everyday life Vikings face as they invade their territory. Eventually, he captures a black yet adorable dragon. Refusing to kill it by guilt, he decides to acquaint with it and later names it Toothless. He not only has fire breath, but also a bit of electricity and very fast speed. A lot of Vikings have actually feared this one for many of the following reasons, but unfortunately, with the damaged tail wing, he cannot fly straight. So Hiccup later fixes him up with a special invention. Although he's been trained in fighting dragons, Hiccup gets conflicted between his kind and the dragons, and knowing what the Vikings know is wrong. The story is very formulaic. The plot about a misfit boy who makes a change in his home place, earning respect, and rising to the top. It's been done before, it's very predictable, and thus it's the most sufferable in the film. The premise, however, is somewhat thoughtful in a way. Vikings and dragons, well, mostly dragons. Most of the characters are no exception. There's a fat kid, a bully kid, a female kid, an angry father, the list goes on. Speaking of cliches, the father and son interactions with Hiccup was very dull. I already knew that the father would lose respect for his son until he later respects him again at the very end. On the other hand, I personally adore the interactions with Hiccup and Toothless. If anything, I found Toothless to be the main star. He's cranky and irritable, but at the same time very adorable and charismatic. I couldn't stop liking the character as I had some good chuckles during his screen time. While this chemistry has been done before, I thought it was done really well. There's not much dialogue involved and his expressions are priceless. Personally, the absolute best parts of this movie were the battle and flight scenes when Hiccup flies with Toothless. These flight scenes were very breathtaking and top-notch. It was so dimensional and so atmospheric that I felt like I was being pulled through wind, and a bit dizzy at these sequences. I could sense and believe the distance between the characters and the ground. It had so much life in it. So much so that I personally confessed that my chest was aching after I was walking out of the theater. Anyone who has fear of heights might want to view this film carefully. I am warning you. Like I said, I have mixed feelings on this, but for the most part, I enjoyed it a lot. The plot is unoriginal, predictable, and so on, but visually and performing, it's really well done. It's not one of DreamWorks' best animated films, but it's a good use of animation methods creating a wild joyride. If there's any reason why I'd watch it again, it's mostly for that reason. For Chris Sanders, he's done it again with a surprising effort, and I think it's one of the better dragon movies up to date. How to Train Your Dragon gets a 3.5 out of 5 stars.